back to the Eastern Football Show. Time now for our hotly anticipated grand final replay match between East Ringwood and East Burwood. East Burwood and the Rams looking for revenge from the final quarter comeback by East Ringwood. We head out to the game now. East Burwood leading 6-2 to East Ringwood 2-3.
East Ringwood now go wide to the outer side.
They do. It's with Bazuglo. He was lively early in the first term, but then faded. This kick's a good one. Finds his captain in Fraser. Plays on and swings onto the left foot. Comes into the true centre-half forward position, but the kick's an ordinary one, and Campbell relieves the pressure for the Rams. He finds his captain in Ash Martin, one of his captains. His other captain is presenting himself. No, that was Zilla, in fact. Got the fist down. Now it's with Fry. Good kick up towards centre-half forward. Oh, fantastic play by Nielsen. Just used his body. And the East Ringwood faithful are not particularly happy with that one, but the ball's with Brad Smith now. Chips it inboard, does okay. Finds Jansen. He's got the head bandage, easily recognisable. Pumps it long inside 50, looking for Luke Slater, and Adam White went up. Now it's Zilla at ground level. Gives away some ground, stops and props. Intelligent kick to the other side of the ground, and Coughlin takes a good mark.
Hello.
In fact, it was Hollow. It's the second time I've done that. They do have very similar hairstyles. Chris Hollow just with a little bit more on top.
Got the same barber as well.
Absolutely. Just a little bit more on top than Jason Coughlin. But this will be Hollow kicking from 45 metres. Pretty much directly in front. The kick's not a bad one at all. I think his teammates are a lot happier with that one than the previous effort. That's a goal to the Rams. That is their seventh. They are 7-2. East Ringwood are 2-3.
Umpire Bonnie with the colleague Sharon back in the centre. East Burwood going further ahead now. East Burwood 7 goals to 44. East Ringwood 2-3, 15. In the centre of the ground, hands there. Coming up with his Lowerson. Bazuglo gets it forward. Whoa, Hollow at the back of the pack. Couldn't pull it down for East Burwood. Round the corner there goes Ackland. And I think everybody likes it, including, let's see, the umpire. Well, East Ringwood get their first goal since the 15-minute mark of the first quarter, and that's a welcome change of luck. 3 goals, 3 now, still trailing East Burwood, 7-2.
Goes inside there, forward 50 again. Porter used his body well, got rid of Hollow, who's now down back after kicking the last goal for the Rams. Bob, your rotation system, the rotation system you've been talking about is just in full force for the Rams today. And Smith and Lee just allow the ball to combine with each other and a series of tackles to let the ball go over the line. But yeah, Hollow definitely at full back at the moment.
It looks like Jason Coughlin at full forward, or is it Adam White? They keep switching and changing these plays, you never know.
Absolutely. I think White's the only one that sort of hasn't really left. He's still been in forward 50, and there's a free kick picked out of this little ruck up on the centre wing. Free kick going the way of the Rams. It'll be taken by Stephen Zilla. Little stab pass, puts his teammate under pressure. That was Luke Slater at ground level, did very well. Hand pass out to Broderick, has some time. Precision pass wanted, and it's not able to be delivered by Broderick.
I think he was going for Shanahan, but he missed him.
Yeah, he probably was, Bob, but Hooper is a dangerous kick on this occasion. They've turned it over the Roos again. Hislop pumps it in long to White. Can he shepherd it through? Great goal from outside 50 from Hislop. That's his first for the afternoon, and East Burwood get their 8th.
Well, back on the centre now with umpire Nathan Bonnie, and as we saw there, Brendan Hislop just turned 2 opponents inside out and just lobbed one from about 55 out straight through the middle. For East Burwood's 8th goal, they're now 8-2, 50, leading East Ringwood 3-3, 21. Off the half-back flank now, hands forward there by McKee. East Ringwood player being held there was Taylor, didn't get the free. East Ringwood going inboard round the corner. Fidelani perhaps should have kept going without any doubt. East Ringwood now paying the penalty of that as East Burwood mop up. Ash Martin from the centre of the ground goes deep down into 50 looking for Luke Slater, caught between 2 there, couldn't pull the ball down. East Ringwood will relieve the pressure. Lee goes wide. Handball forward there by Crowley. East Ringwood off that half-back flank making a meal of it. Hooper it was. But as you can see, a turnover, and Broderick the former Richmond player, in Paul Broderick. Whoa, that was stolen on that occasion. Gee, Jansen just stood his ground. No one told him someone was coming through. Porter over the top, couldn't pull it down for East Ringwood. And an East Burwood player is on the deck over there. I think it's Brad Campbell.
It is, Bob.
Keep an eye on him as East Ringwood has a shot. No, that's wide. And East Ringwood now go on to 3 goals 4, trailing East Burwood 8-2. And we're at the 8.5 minute mark here of the second quarter. Derek Coughlin to do the kicking in duties. There he goes, decides to go short. East Burwood in control. Will work the ball down wide on the outer side. His stop from the back, couldn't quite drag the ball in. East Ringwood with hands. Crowley couldn't push it through the pack. His stop again, he will. Look at that, on the left foot, gets it down to the forward line. Jack Coughlin comes out, 55 out. He'll turn around, he's going to look for Ash Martin. Ash Martin by himself, just outside 50, gets the hands on. East Burwood now spinning around with it. This is the little fella in help and has a shot from about 35 out, but gee, what's he done with that? Is that close?
He's kicked it.
I think he might have, and that's his second goal. Well, East Burwood leading East Ringwood a merry dance here at the 9.5 minute mark of the second quarter. East Burwood 9 goals 2, well in front of East Ringwood 3-4.
Well, they are, Bob. It's completely outclassing them in pretty much all areas of the ground. Their defence across half-back has been exemplary, and their work through the midfield and delivery into their forwards has been far and away superior to that of the Roos. And therefore they go once again wide. If it's Sadie was in business, it didn't. Picking it up at ground level, Taylor did well. Now it's out towards Bazuglo, but it's over the boundary line in front of him. And all Marcus Bazuglo can do is shake his head and contemplate what might have been as umpire Madeline Tape will toss the ball back in. 60 metres around from the Rams' goal. They do lead this contest at the moment by 35 points. Going through a little hand pass out there was Hocking. Now they've got a bit of a run of it. Bazuglo goes long up towards Porter. Gee, got a bit of a dodgy bounce. Hollow did very well. Gave it to Nielsen on half back. He spots a teammate and found him. Great 40-metre pass. I think this is Goodale out on the outer side wing. Kicks it long up the line, and he's got another teammate in space. This is Shanahan. East Burwood working the ball beautifully. High kick in towards Coughlin at full forward. At ground level now, picking it up. Intelligent play from the other Coughlin. He got it in towards Ash Martin, and Martin kicked the easiest goal of the afternoon. That's his first, and East Burwood running away with it at the moment. 11 minutes gone in this second.
We'll head back to our replay game shortly, but time now for the Sherrin Football Quiz. Thanks, Crash. This week's Sherrin Football Quiz question: name the 3 interleague coaches announced for the matches versus the Diamond Valley on the Queen's birthday weekend. If you had a copy of the Eastern Footballer from last weekend, or visit the website, you'll find that answer. Congratulations to last week's winner, Nick Hodges, won a fantastic Sherrin football. Time now to return to our replay game. East Burwood dominating in this match 11-2 to East Ringwood 4-4.
Anticipation there by Shanahan, got the ball forward. Over Smith's head, but a good mark there to Cameron Taylor of the East Ringwood side. He decides to go short, working the ball around the boundary line. Stir fry. Turns it over. East Ringwood not handling the ball cleanly there. A lot of pressure from the East Burwood guys, obviously. Oh boy, Ackland nearly got his head pulled off. Kick smothered there was Lowison. Just an awkward looking scrubber off the boot. And East Ringwood finally get it down into 50. And as you can see, Porter has taken what amounted to an easy mark in the finish, showing 2 East Burwood opponents a pretty clean pair of heels. Looks as though Vinny Mucitelli is off the ground for East Ringwood, as Wade Porter lines up, yet to kick a goal, almost directly in front down towards the Mines Road end. In he comes, beautiful looking kick off the boot. Umpire doesn't move. That's straight back over that goal umpire's head. That is a goal, and East Ringwood, can they come back? East Ringwood claw one back at the 16.5 minute mark of the second quarter. East Burwood lead 11-2. East Ringwood 5-4.
So it's back to 34 points now, as Bob said. They've got the last 2, but here's a real chance. They go forward again through Bartling. His kick's a poor one. Porter did very well. Hand pass back to Bazuglo. Now it's with Hocking. He tries to get it up towards full forward. Had the shot at goal in the end, and it only went through for one behind. Great pressure on him from Halpin. East Ringwood advance to 5-5-35, still trailing East Burwood, who are 11-2-68. And Bob, just can't help thinking that East Ringwood perhaps should have made a bit more out of that forward 4A.
Well, they've had the majority of the play, although they're not handling the ball that cleanly, Darren.
Certainly not. They've fumbled a lot below their knees, but perhaps that's because the delivery perhaps hasn't been, they've been under a lot of pressure and the delivery hasn't been what it might otherwise have been.
Ball wide over there on the outer wing. East Burwood trying to force their way through. Stacks on the middle in there. You can see that Fraser's in there for East Ringwood. He's somewhere on the bottom of all that. And we'll have a ball up just wide of the centre square area. Umpire Nathan Bonney. And up we go once again. Cleven in the ruck. Got it forward for East Burwood, but not to anyone in particular. Fry trying to force his way around the corner for East Ringwood. East Ringwood now, they get a break into 50. All awkward looking bounce in front of Porter. But East Burwood with too many guns on the ground. That was Goodale. East Burwood handballing backwards and forwards. They're in trouble. Nielsen tried to shoot one off the ground close to the boundary line, and it will go over for a throw in about 15 metres out from East Ringwood's, or around from East Ringwood's goal. 18.5 minutes coming up into the quarter. East Burwood 11-2. East Ringwood 5-5.
Could be a long quarter two. We've had 8 goals and we haven't even reached the time on mark, that 20-minute mark yet.
In the quarter, 5 goals, 1 to East Burwood so far. East Ringwood 3 goals, 2. Better quarter from East Ringwood. Plenty of players down on their hands and knees. As the ball will come off the half-back flank over there. Free kick to East Burwood. Now they decide to switch play. Come across to the members' side of the ground. Oh, awkward looking kick out here to Nielsen. But he took it. Certainly equal to the task. Good pressure from East Ringwood there. Forced the East Burwood player out. And the East Burwood player, of course, was one of the captains in, or the co-captains in, Ash Martin. Didn't have any room to move, and as you saw, finally run out of bounds and up and under from the boundary umpire. Awkward looking one. And the umpire has found a free. A little bit of pushing and shoving here as Cleven, Allen.
Somebody's got him in there. There's a bit of the umpire Bob's just come in and almost turned it over here.
That was a shocking mistake by Cleven. I think he was watching what was going on in the blue. And picking it up there is McCormick. McCormick has landed a goal.
We have a closely fought out contest for our replay game this evening. East Burwood were leading at 3/4 time, and I'm sure a few thoughts returned to the grand final last year with East Ringwood's big final term comeback. It's time to rejoin our replay game. East Burwood in front, 13 goals 10 to East Ringwood 11-10.
It's okay. Little kick. White's there. Gee, White's been impressive in this second half.
Whoa,
and there's been a free kick. Stephen Ziller, well, I'm not sure what's happened. It's another McCormick and Ziller incident. And there's a 25-metre penalty involved here as well. So, Bob, I'm not sure what exactly has happened, but you would fair to say that Stephen Ziller is losing the plot at the moment. He's given away 2 free kicks in a minute, and this really should result in a goal for East Ringwood, and that'll bring them back to only a 6-point margin.
6 points the difference, that's right. And looks like McCormick is coming off the ground.
So it looks as though, I think this is John Knight who'll take the free kick. So this is just waiting for McCormick to come off. He's been very good, McCormick. And his contribution in this little thing might be invaluable. He won a couple of free kicks for his side. But now it's John Knight from 35 out. If he can kick this, all the momentum will be with East Ringwood.
7 minutes in, Darren.
And we have been here before. John Knight kicks through the footy.
Whoa!
You can hear the reaction from the faithful here at the Maroondah Sports Club. East Ringwood back to within a goal. It's 13-10, plays 12-10.
Doug Bowie getting plenty of advice from the East Burwood crowd up here. It's a goal of difference, and we are 8 minutes into the last quarter. East Ringwood now clearing it off that half-back line through Taylor. He decides to go wide over there. Can Nielsen punches it forward for East Burwood to Hislop. Hislop will take his time. He'll turn around. He'll steady it. Hislop on the left. Comes back in. Can he find Hollow? No. The bounce beat Hollow. East Ringwood now in with a chance again. East Ringwood coming forward. Who have they got over here? Bazaglo!
Oh, that could be 25 as well, Bob.
Yeah, in front of Brad Campbell.
No, umpire said just
Gee,
set
it
the
was
mark.
a good lead and a good pass. Oh! Gee, Luke Slater has spat the mouth guard.
There is a free kick being picked out of this in the goal square, so the kick, it should even be a better angle. Here we go, yep. Vinny Mucitelli, he's gone down behind the play, and he might go down again, and Adam Slater. This is, I tell you what,
Wow.
the discipline here, Bob, from
Big
Doug
Vinny.
Bowie's East Burwood is out the window.
Vinny is kick 4. We are level pegging here in the last quarter. What an electric atmosphere, Darren. Well, 2 or 3 East Burwood indiscretions there has resulted in another goal to East Ringwood, and the score is 13-13. We're all locked up as Coughlin goes forward for East Burwood. White picks it up, dodges around a player. White will go long into 50 looking for Hollow, and Hollow is in fact marked. Hollow from about 55 metres, kicking towards the Dublin Road end. If East Burwood ever needed a goal, it's certainly now. Chris Hollow, in he comes, lets one fly. Umpire looking closely. Gee, I think that might have carried. It's a goal! He'll bomb it right down in there. He's got Jansen down there in the goal square. Didn't find him. Yes, he does now. Good. Oh, Jansen round the corner and just missed. East Burwood now 1-6 for the quarter. East Ringwood 3-3. And one would think that if East Burwood had have kicked truly, it would have been a different situation, but the pressure that East Ringwood are putting on.
Well, I mean, I guess the stats show it's 15 behinds to 13, but it would have seemed that the East Burwood misses were probably more gettable, as it were, than some of the East Ringwood misses.
Would have thought
so. Perhaps they might be feeling like they've wasted a few opportunities. But Lee brings it in now to Hocking, finds him very well. He's got a player free in the middle, it's Crowley. Ignores him, looking for Porter on a long lead. Going back did well was Campbell. Bazaglo brilliantly. Now it's with Crowley. Little kick around the corner. Hollowick trapped at the back, does well. He's wrapped up though by Coughlin. Gee, it's very tough football now.
23 minutes gone.
And that's what East Burwood have to do. They just have to be accountable. If they're accountable, they should win it from here. 8 points in the lead they are. Slater bashing it towards the boundary line. Ash Martin won't be too disappointed if it trickles over. And he's very happy with that, as you can see. Well, not anymore, but we just got a shot of Doug Barwick stalking the boundary line, as he's prone to do. Tossed in. Slater did very well. Hand pass down to White, who's moved onto the ball. But here's a chance now for Ackland. A good little kick across the face, or across towards the centre of the ground. Fraser got it out towards Hocking. Kick needs to be good. It's a chance here from McCormick at the back. But it beats him to the boundary line in front of Zilla. Those two just not wanting to separate themselves from each other at the moment. And it's still only 8 points of margin. 24 minutes gone in the final term.
24 minutes, only 4 goals kicked, so probably about a 27, 28-minute quarter. 4 to go. Just inside the boundary line, McCormick all wrapped up. East Burwood with hands got it forward, but over the boundary line it went for a throw-in. Right on that 50-metre line, out of sight in East Burwood's forward 50, or just in forward 50. Time on the countdown, 24.5 minutes gone. Slater in the ruck with Smith. In we go. Smith in front. Derek Coughlin snatched it out of the air, got a chip kick forward. East Ringwood to come back into attack. What can they do here? Player caught. Whoa, Broderick went through there for East Burwood. Boy, oh boy, it's tough. Coughlin tried to kick one through the pack, not successful. Player held by the leg. I think it might have been Broderick again. Didn't work. Round the corner goes Porter. Porter goes for home. Porter has kicked a goal. And that will be an East Burwood free kick, and I think it's going to go to Nielsen. Yes, it is. 27.5 minutes gone.
Just playing for time now, you can tell.
3 points the difference. Nielsen now for East Burwood. Kicks it long. Looking for Slater. Couldn't take it. Ball spills to the back of the pack. The little fella there in Zilla's got it. Going forward now, East Burwood into 50. There's one East Burwood, it's Ash Martin. There's two East Ringwood. East Ringwood, or will they muck it up? Goodale ran right at him. East Ringwood to relieve the pressure out here to Ackland. Ackland now going through the wing here up to the half-forward line. Whoa! Porter pushed out. Umpire said play on. Gee, the East Ringwood crowd not happy with that decision. And East Burwood now go further forward through Jansen. Down there looking for Shanahan. Inside the boundary line, Goodale spins around with it into 50. Smith has got it for East Ringwood. Oh, drops it at the crucial moment. Whoa, Jason Coughlin. Out it comes to Houston. Handballs it back. East Ringwood will relieve the pressure. They got a couple of loose ones up in the centre of the ground. Oh, no, they haven't. Chris Hollow got to the contest and took a great mark. 28.5 minutes gone, Darren.
That was very disappointing play for East Ringwood, but Hollow has a free man and spots him and finds him in Hislop. And Hislop from 45 metres out could seal the match right here if he kicks a major. But very disappointing, as I said. East Ringwood had two free players. They had, I think it was Fraser and maybe Lowison, but instead all they did was they picked out Hollow. And that's resulted in this kick at goal. It's 14-16, 100 East Burwood, 14-13, 97 East Ringwood. In the grand final replay, 29 minutes. You'd have to think this would be the last throw of the dice. If he misses this, they're a chance, but if he makes this, East Burwood are home. Hislop, it's a very good kick. You can tell from the noise on the boundary line and the silence up in our commentary position that he's kicked the goal. East Burwood are home in this contest.
East Burwood running out winners in our TV match tonight. 15-16, 106, 9-point victors over East Ringwood, 14-13, 97. And time now for our coach's interview on the Eastern Football Show. Bob Young speaks to Doug Barwick.
Let's welcome to the Channel 31 microphone the victorious coach of today's game, Doug Barwick. Doug, well done on the game today.
No, it was a good result. Pretty good game, I think. Had a bit of everything, but we really did set ourselves for today. We wanted a positive result for this year, and also there's a little bit on last year, so it was a good result for us.
Okay, now the final score was a 9-point result to East Burwood, but Doug, you got away to a terrific start in the first quarter. I think Broderick kicked 2 and White kicked 2.
Yeah, no, we set ourselves up to kick a few goals early, and we did that. To East Ringwood's credit, they fought back strongly as we knew they would. But I suppose in the last couple of minutes of the game, you know, we just wanted a little bit more, I think.
Sure, you know, I think it was an even second quarter. It was 5-3 apiece, but you lost Arthurson and also Dinny.
Yeah, no, it looks like Paul's got a serious injury. He's got I think either a broken jaw or a fractured cheekbone, and Bull pulled a hamstring. So effectively, we were pretty much one on the bench, and he was a big, so we weren't able to make a whole lot of changes from then.
Okay, so one on the bench coming into a tough last half. That certainly set you a task, but it was attack all the way, I thought.
Oh yeah, that's the way we play our game. I suppose you had two attacking teams, and there was a lot of rebounding there today, but no, it was just good to get the result, I think, today. We
were very impressed in the commentary box with Brendan Hislop's game.
Oh yeah, Sloppy's probably been close to our best for the last 3 weeks. He's done a big pre-season. He's playing good football. He's a good kid.
And one that we've got to mention, he's probably a war horse of the team, is Derek Coughlin. A fantastic game again.
Yeah, no, Deck played his role extremely well today. He was just so important in those tight clinches to get the ball moving forward quickly, and he was terrific.
Well, when you've got a guy like that leading the pack out there, it makes it easy for some of the young guys, and he does that extremely well, doesn't he?
Who's that, Derek?
Derek, yeah.
Yep. No, he's just a quality player.
All right, well, Doug, I'm sure you want to get back to the boys. Well done on the game today. We look forward to following East Burwood's fortunes for the rest of the season, and go the Rams.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Bob Young with Doug Barwick after East Burwood beat East Ringwood in last weekend's match.